All right. So, welcome y'all to the first episode of For OGs Only. So I am getting ready to do one of the biggest podcasts. I'm getting ready to do one of the biggest podcasts ever, and the reason is because I wanted to address a lot of the stuff that's going on. In the media space. I wanted to address a lot of different shit. So I'm gonna go live on Instagram for a second. But if you're on Instagram, go to YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube right now. Just Google Al Nuke and it's gonna pop right up. I need y'all to check this show out because this show is so entertaining, and this I'm gonna be really committed to this. So before I officially start the show, right? You got to bear with me here, okay? Because this is new for me. I didn't have time to do it, but I felt like the streets needed it. If you're on Instagram right now, go to YouTube because the conversation is about to get very serious. It's about to get very real, and it's too much for Instagram. Instagram and YouTube is two totally different things. So, at least that's what they told me. But I agree because who I'm about to be on this podcast is not necessarily who you're gonna see on Instagram. Because I'm gonna be like, I'm letting shit loose. So without further ado, let's go to the intro. Yeah. Hey, make sure you log on right now. Go to YouTube. Peace. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm off the nail, out the neck, out the roof. I told that kid go a check, I cut up loose. Hood star, I'ma do this shit for life. Nigga going hard, I don't do this shit for likes, you dig? For real. Hey, yo, welcome to the For OGs Only podcast. This is my first episode.
You done fucked up, right? No. You know you done fucked up, right?
Yes, you know you done fucked up, right? Because you done brought Al Nuke into the podcast space. This is somewhere where I did not want to be, but the streets brought me to this junk. So it's like, I just want to let the people know that I was told it was a thing called the YouTube streets. I'm quick to say, motherfuck the YouTube streets. OGs Only podcast is strictly about the streets, but we happen to discuss it on YouTube, okay? So, and then what I also want to let you know is that it won't be, we won't be degrading people. We won't be in people's business. We won't be, doing all of the extra stuff, trying to get scandals and all of that type of stuff. But OGs Only is strictly about elevating and educating. You know what I mean? Let's get the information. Let's share the information. Let's see how we can help each other. That is the key. That's why I started this podcast, because it's a lot of people, young, old, that need some information. You know what I mean? That need game. That need information. They need it. And if you remember, I was one of the first people to start a podcast. You know what I mean? Back in the days. But I stopped because I was busy. So...
As the streets is filled with fake people, prophets, and pretend to be bosses, yet they are only pocket watching. God be a less the real. For OGs only, let's exchange game.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's exchange game right here on OGs Only. So, without further ado, I just want to be able to be very transparent with my crowd and with my audience. This episode, I won't be having guests. This is all about me. This is all about me talking to you. You know what I mean? The first episode is about me talking to you, gathering the audience up, having a conversation, having a dialogue about everything, all right? So this episode, I want y'all to bear with me. This is the first episode, and it's going to be a little rocky. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, but I want you to just be clear here. This podcast is not about bashing people, banging people, you know what I mean? going after people, finding scandals and all of that. It's not about that. It's about entertainment, and it's about elevating. So without further ado, I just want to talk about the first episode and the topic. The topic is, what defines an OG?
As the streets is filled with fake people.
What defines an OG? I want to know, because there's a lot of OGs out here that claim to be OGs, but
Cap.
you got money, you want to be the man, but it's
Cap.
you all over the place, bunch of fake jewelry, running around, moving around.
Cap.
You always want to go after people. You want to create the scandals, but nobody is really looking in your closet.
Cap.
You are the best person ever in the game that I guess that started and did this and this and this and that and that and this and that and this.
Cap. Cap. Cap.
You all fucking cap. It's a bunch of cap going on, and you know what I mean, in this industry right now, just in general. It is a bunch of fucking cap. So we got to discuss this. We got to have the conversation about what is an OG. So I bought some notes here, okay? Because every episode I will have my notes, so you know I'm not just like jaw jacking. Pause. Right? First of all, I want to tell y'all who I am. Okay, my name is Nuke. I come from the east side of Detroit. All right. I am close to 50 years old. I'm 49, just to be transparent. And this is the year that I'll be turning 50. So it's time to really be transparent. And although I look good, don't I? Pause. Anyway, I come from the east side of Detroit. I've been through everything. I've been on my own since I was 13 years old. I've been in foster homes, abandoned as a child, all type of stuff, man, growing up. And I lived in dope houses, from 14 on up. I lived in dope houses. And when I say dope houses, I'm talking about houses where ain't no lights, ain't no gas, ain't no fucking stoves. It's nothing. It is an abandoned house. And we put plastic on the fucking windows, and we put milk crates in plastic bags to take a shit, right? And we would use gallons of water to wash up. That's the era that I come from. I also come from an era where a lot of drugs, a lot of dope men, a lot of different things that I seen, you know what I mean, throughout my life. I came from being a small, young man, homeless, foster homes, to actually started getting with the bosses, selling drugs, you know what I mean, and then becoming a boss in my own neighborhood and putting my whole neighborhood on. And everything that I say on this podcast, you can go and research. Like, one thing about this podcast, you'll never see a lie come out of my mouth. Now, about people that I bring on the show, I can't vouch for everybody that bring on the show, but I'm going to try to bring real transparency and real stuff, you know what I mean, to the to the culture. But everything that I always say, I will stand on it. I will never lie to you. I will never, ever lie to you. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a liar. So I don't intend to never lie. So with that being said, I went to the process of selling drugs, put a lot of people on, had a lot of shootouts, got into a shootout with a brother in my neighborhood, and it was real crazy. And what I realized was keeping it real means really keeping it real with yourself, because I went through everything.
Cap.
No cap.
Cap.
No cap. I got to get the no cap one too. But I went through every fucking thing. So when I tell you, going through those things and then, having shootouts and going through things with different people and having problems and having issues, and then when you're ready to really, 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 really take it there, the person is not really necessarily there to take it there with you. It taught me that keeping it real, you must keep it real with yourself first. That is one of the rules of being an OG. You got to keep it real with yourself. Before you keep it real with anybody, you got to keep it real with yourself. So what I'm saying is, 17,000 block. I sold drugs. I did a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of shootouts, a lot of crazy different stuff. I went to jail for an attempt murder case with a guy that I shot broad daylight, right? The guy was 300 pounds, and I thought he was, really about this shit because he had just got out of jail. And I don't really want to bring that story up too much because I don't want to bring, you know, his family harm or his family pain or issues or things of that sort. I'm just going to tell y'all, like, that dude tried to get me locked up and he tried to kill me on the streets. You know what I mean? So it was like we in shootouts every day, and then we go to court, and the dude is like, yo, Your Honor, this guy's trying to kill me. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So it made me change a different leaf. And then I seen a lot of my OGs, a lot of the guys that I was in the streets with. I was trying to pull it up for y'all so y'all can see it. Hopefully by next week you'll be able to see it. But if you Google Orlando Bayless, okay? Google that. New York drug bust in the 90s. Dudes got caught with like 35 bricks, a few bricks a boy, and his mother ended up going to jail. She got caught with it, and she told on everybody, and it was a serious indictment, and everybody, you know, went in. And me being around that, like literally right there and seeing that, and being the youngest dude, thank God I wasn't totally tied in that indictment. You know what I mean? My name was in paperwork when it came to it, but I was the little nigga. You know what I mean? I was just a little dude. So these dudes had bricks and bricks and bricks and bricks. I was just a dude working with a half a split, maybe a brick, you know what I mean? Like, you know, little shit. 100 grams, 200 grams, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So, and also I dodged the indictment because I was already in jail with a attempt murder situation. So God was good. Long story short, I got out of jail, I became Al Nuke. I was Buck in the streets. If you go to 17,000 block and you ask about Buck, they will tell you. I was Buck. I got out, became Al Nuke. I was out on bond, and I started rapping, right? And I put out an album. This was 1996 going into 97, right? I went from being from the head dude selling drugs in my neighborhood, putting everybody on, to catching this case, and then getting out of jail and having to sleep in my friend's closet because they didn't have a bedroom for me, but the closet was able to have a twin bed in it. So I was able to sleep in that motherfucker, right? And become Al Nuke. So the birth of Al Nuke came, and I never told this story. The birth of Al Nuke literally came from the closet of my friend's house. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that and when I did that, it literally changed my life. I became Al Nuke. I started doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? And you know, you can do the research from there. So just to let y'all know, I just wanted to give y'all a brief history about myself of why I feel like I'm an OG is because I'm 49. I've been through a lot. I've dodged indictments. I've dodged murders, attempt murders. I've made money, lost money, put people on. People put me on. I've always paid my ticket. I've never ran off on people, and I've always been a help. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about what makes you an OG, because this is for OGs only.
You done fucked up, right? No. You know you done fucked up, right?
You fucked up. And you know why you fucked up? Because a bunch of y'all feel like y'all OGs.
Cap.
You're not a real OG.
Cap.
If you ain't never put nobody on in the streets, you ain't never put nobody on, you're not an OG.
Cap.
If you ain't been through high-speed chases, shootouts, indictments, fell off, came back, you're not an OG.
Cap.
So with that being said, I just want to talk about what is or what defines an OG. Well, let me tell you. First of all, age defines an OG. A lot of you people, young people, went through some shit and you feel like you an OG.
Cap. Cap.
You're not an OG at 22. You're not an OG at 30. You're not an OG at 35.
Cap.
You are OG at least 40 plus is when you become to at least start getting into OGism. You all right? You got to be 40. It doesn't matter what you went through. Oh, yeah, I went through this. Oh, yeah, I went through this. You're not an OG. You're just a young guy that been through some shit. To be an OG, you have to have experience. You have to been through things multiple times throughout the years, not just your 1 or 2 year run makes you an OG. That is
Cap.
And I say it again.
Cap.
to be a real OG, you got to be 40 plus. You know what I mean? You got to be that stood the test of time, my baby. And that's real. That's a real thing to do. To stand the test of time of being an OG, man, that shit take real dedication. You know what I mean? Now, once we get at an age, 40 plus, now you got to talk about street record. What is your street record? Do you have one? Do you have a street record? A lot of you niggas ain't got no street records. You know what I mean? Like, I hear a lot of these dudes that get some money, you know what I mean? And they instantly become or think they're OG because you got some money. You're not an OG. You just got some money. Prime example, side note. This is what you got to know, okay? This is what you got to know. If a person has a lot of money, right, and they don't move like they money, that means they didn't make the money.
Cap.
That means that when you got a person that got a lot of money and move wild and reckless or this or that, motherfucker, you know how hard it is to come up with $10,000 coming from the streets, bro? Do you? A 10 ball? Real hustlers know how hard it is to come with $10,000. Now imagine you muscle up to 20,000. Then you muscle up to 50. Then you fucking muscle up to $100,000 in the streets. In the streets, to get $100,000, you'd have had to go through multiple shootouts. You had to go through losses. You had to go through come-ups. You had to go through come-downs. Your family was stealing from you. Niggas was telling on you. All type of shit to make $100,000. So that alone is going to condition you to move a certain way. You're not going to move like, oh, I can just go crazy. I can do this, do that. Fuck this nigga. Fuck that nigga. Ooh, ah, 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 ah.
Cap. Cap.
Because the money makes you move a certain way. But you got a lot of people that then got money from other people. Might be lawsuits, might be loans, it might be running off with tickets. And they move a certain different way due to the fact that they didn't have to make the money. Because if you had to make the money, you move a certain way. Every millionaire and every person with real money, watch how they move. Most of millionaires, they sit and watch and listen. Because they're in their skin. They'll let you make a motherfucking fool of yourself and sit there and listen because they know the things that they went through to make the money. So they're not going to let you trick them or not going to let you do no goofy ass shit, or they're not looking for no goofy ass shit. You see what I'm saying? Because they done made the money, they done grind it out, they didn't know how hard it was to make the fucking money. So again, you got to go to your street record. You got to check these guys' street record. A lot of these guys don't have street records. And when I talk about street records, I'm talking about, did you pay your ticket? Nigga fronted you a bag. Did you pay your ticket? You know what I mean? Or was you a runoff boy? Was you a nigga that as soon as you get a bag, you running off? Like in 2024, 2025, 2023, 2022, a lot of the young niggas was getting bags and they just want to run off on a bag. Not even young niggas, old niggas too. Just want to run off with the bag. I'm gone. So, but play you like, oh, OG, this, that, and the other, OG, I love you, this, that, and the other, you a real OG, but the niggas can't wait to do nothing but run off with your fucking bag. You know what I mean? And go take care of they bitch, right? And then when you shoot they fucking house up or somebody get killed in the process, then it's R.I.P. Lil Jody. Nah, Lil Jody wasn't paying his motherfucking ticket. I cannot give you a bag that I paid for, that I give you to make a small percentage for you to actually run off, don't never pay me back, and go take care of your family and your bitch and act like there's no rebuttal to that. It is definitely a lot of rebuttal to that, okay? That is something you don't want to do. Not pay your ticket, that's going to get you fucked up, all right? So always pay your ticket. A lot of these guys, street records, they don't have a street repertoire. You know what I mean? Like, people can't really go to your neighborhood, to your place and say, yo, did this dude ever put you on? Yo, did this dude ever do this? Or this dude, no, a lot of the people, you know what I mean, don't have that. A lot of the people in the space of podcasts, you know what I mean, don't have real street credibility. And I'm just not talking about ass face. Don't think I'm always talking about ass face, because I'm not at all. I'm talking about people in general in the podcast world, right? Because what I will say is ass face got a little bit of, street cred, like the dude, whatever. I'm talking about the little niggas. I'm talking about the little niggas that just got a phone, and now this niggas iPad, and now the niggas is this and that. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. You're nothing. You're fucking peon.
Cap.
You're cap. Even ass face is cap.
Cap.
I'm looking for thorough shit. I'm giving game to give thorough game. Real fucking game. And I don't have a problem with starting small, letting it build, letting it grow, because that's where I come from. I don't come from the cheat codes. And that's another thing about being an OG. You cannot cheat your way to an OG. A lot of motherfuckers want to go through the back door. They want to parade the money. They even ready to go and buy Moissanite diamonds, which is another episode. Niggas is ready to go buy fake Gucci, fake Moissanites, fake everything, buy the likes, buy the post, the pictures, and then boom, I'm an OG. It's fake.
Cap. Cap.
We got to go back to the original.
As the streets is filled with fake people, prophets, and pretend to be bosses, yet they are only pocket watching. God be a less the real. For OGs only, let's exchange game.
Let's exchange game, man. This shit is real that I'm giving you. I'm going to be giving you like really, really good game from me and the people that I know every Sunday at 3 o'clock. I'm giving you this game. But anyway, going back to street record. What is their street record? Who they come from, who they been around, what they done did. Look it up. Where's the fucking people? Where is the cheerleaders that's saying, hey, nah, that motherfucker's the truth? You see what I'm saying? Anybody you go to, they're going to tell you Al Nuke is the truth. Al Nuke done put in that work. Al Nuke done put in well over 30 years of work. Well over 30 years of work. I don't have to promote it. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to do shit else if I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? And the streets is going to say, hey, man, that nigga Nuke. Nah, that's a stand-up nigga. It's a good nigga. You know what I mean? Stand-up nigga, good nigga. He crazy than a motherfucker, but he's a good nigga. You see what I'm saying? And I don't have to oversell myself. I don't have to overhype it. I don't have to do nothing but be me. Why? Because I didn't put in the work. Okay? So it's real important to know street cred and street shit. You research these niggas. Not only the podcast niggas, but research the rappers. I want you to research any nigga that's talking crazy on Instagram, streets, this, that, and the other. Find who these niggas is. If you believe in these niggas, do your research, do diligently, to find out who these niggas is. Because a lot of these niggas is
Cap. Cap.
I'm talking about stupid.
Cap.
Also, another rule to be an OG is, let's talk about social status, okay? I used to say that a nigga didn't have to hide nothing to be an OG. That's changed. No, nigga, you cannot be a nigga 40, 50 years old on your knuckles looking for $5 or $10 talking about you an OG because you experienced some things. I'm sorry.
Cap.
Nigga, an OG is a nigga that stood the test of time. And he might not be rich. He might not have millions or like everybody else, but he stood 10 toes down. The nigga's a real nigga, and the nigga ain't broke. You can't count the nigga pockets. You don't know what he got because he stay clean. He stay on his toes. He been 100. He ain't told on nobody. You know what I mean? And you don't see the nigga on drugs like pills, perks, lean, fucking cocaine, fucking LSD, fucking wet, fucking mushrooms. You don't see the nigga like that. OGs only fuck with a little weed, little liquor. Little weed, little liquor. Now, you an OG and you feel like you playing with pills? You an OG and you feel like you can motherfucking drink lean like these young niggas and you 45? You a motherfucking claiming to be an OG, but you need a motherfucking half pint every day? Nigga, you ain't an OG. You just an old nigga in the way. An OG is a nigga that give game. You know what I mean? An OG is a nigga that give the game to the people. Get a game to the streets. Get a game to the young niggas. And in order to get a game to the young niggas, you got to be respected. And in order to be respected, you got to stand on your square. You know what I mean? You got to be a stand-up nigga. Your shoulders got to be up. You got to be able to look niggas in the eyes. You can't look like a crackhead, dope fiend. Your shoes curled, you musty, you looking around, nigga. I heard niggas always used to say, no, nigga, I'm an OG, nigga. You ain't got to count my pockets, nigga, but believe I got it.
Cap. Cap.
You ain't got it, bro. Because at the end of the day, this 2025, and you got to show that shit. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about you got to do what these young niggas do, 100 diamonds and, you know, throwing the money in the air, this, that. No, nigga, but you got to have a new whip. You got to have whip strips and chips. We got to see whip strips and chips. Some kind of whip strips and chips. You might only got the whip. You ain't got the strip. You only got a few chips. That's cool. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody telling you to have all three whip strips and chips real strong, but you got to have a balance. You know what I mean? There's something there. It's got to be something if you want to be an OG. You know what I mean? You got to look like it. You got to be able to put that shit on. You got to be able to rock that shit, and you got to be able to stand on your square, my nigga. Can't be no motherfucker acting like a woman. You know what I mean? And also, that's another thing. Being an OG, my nigga's about doing grown man shit. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas out here with money, but nigga can't even put air in the tire. You know what I mean? Nigga can't even open the door for his girl. You know what I mean? You don't even know how to go up under the sink and fix the garbage disposal. You don't even know how to cut the grass. You don't own a lawnmower. How you 45 with a house and don't own a lawnmower? You're not an OG. I don't give a fuck what you feel like, what you do. Al Nuke said, if you're 40 plus and you're in a home, your home, and you don't own no motherfucking lawnmower, you don't own no weed whacker, the motherfucker, you know what I mean? You don't own none of this shit. You got to pay somebody to come and cut your grass. Nigga, how your wife looking at you or your woman looking at you?
Cap.
You OGs or who you claim to be OGs?
Cap.
It's a lot to be an OG. It take a lot to be an OG, especially in 2025. It takes so much to be an OG because they changing the rules up. You know what I mean? What used to be straight brick up and down, everything now is gray areas. The women and soft-ass men and just different people is making everything become a gray area now. You know, you can kind of move the post a little bit. You know what I mean? You could do it. You can't. Where I'm from and how I was cut, bro, is straight up and down, bro. No black and white, my nigga. And it's the hardest ever right now being an OG because you're a real person in a
cap
world. You're in a stupid cap world. So you find yourself arguing. You find yourself into it. You find some of your people don't like you no more. You find a lot of bullshit going on because you trying to keep it real. So all you doing is putting up the... You doing that shit all day. You know what I mean? To the things that you seeing. So it's just like, man, it's really hard to be an OG, even with your family. You got to take care of your family. You got to be the leader of your family, you know. But at the same time, family turn on you. Family nowadays ain't what family used to be. So it's like your family could turn on your cousins and this and that. These motherfuckers turning on you. Motherfuckers feel like you owe them. Motherfuckers envious of you. It's just hard to be an OG nowadays. But this is why I did this show, because we gonna stay real. You feel me? Throughout all of this shit.
You done fucked up, right? No. You know you done fucked up, right?
Facts. You done fucked up getting me a show, because what I'm gonna do, slowly but surely, is rally all of the rally all of the OGs. Okay? This is a call out to the OGs. Bro, tune in every Sunday, 3 o'clock. Watch this shit. Share this shit for OGs only. I'm bringing in all of the OGs to come together. Like, I pray that God bring all of the OGs together in one space and have our conversations, our dialogue, what we're going through, what we're witnessing at 40, 50, 55, shit like that, 60. What are we witnessing here? Because this is a fucking whole life-changing, life switch situation. You know, I told my daughter, I said, hey, I want you to understand something. In life, I'm going to share this with y'all too. You make mistakes in life, right? But the older that you get, the mistakes have worse, you know, whoopings, or I should say, I can't think about the right word, right? But they have worse situations that happen. So you remember, like, if you're a kid and you forget to clean your room, your mother might get mad, right? Okay, she's angry. You made that mistake of not doing that. Then you have a situation where you get older, right? And you're 17. Let's say you're 17, right? And you make that mistake of you didn't turn in that paper. So now you might not go to college. You know what I mean? Or now you might not get that thing that you wanted, right? You see what I'm saying? So it got worse. You see what I'm saying? The shit gets worse for you as you get older. That's like when you get 22, 23 in your first house, right? And you might forget, I ain't paying the gas bill right now. I got a lot of shit. Boom, the gas get cut off, motherfucker. You sitting in that bitch cold in the motherfucker. God damn. That mistake cost a lot more than when you was a kid. You know what I mean? The mistakes, the payouts get higher. So at 22, you forget to pay a utility. Okay, boom, the utility got cut off. It's not the mama whooping when you made the mistake. No, niggas, utilities is off. You sitting in that bitch cold and the lights is out. That happens at 20, 22, 23. You learning that part, right? When you get around 28, 27, 30, shit like that, it's another part. Now it's like the mistakes that you do will last a lifetime. A lifetime. So you got to be wise on the moves and the mistakes that you make, all right? You got to be wise with the moves and the mistakes that you're making, because it's different payouts or different shit happens from the ages of 10 to 17 to 24 to 30. Even when you get into your 40s and you get into your 50s, those mistakes, oh, motherfucker, you're going to pay forever. You're going to pay forever. The mistakes that you're making at 40, they're going to pay out the ass forever, okay? It's not a temporary mistake. So it's very important that when you get a certain age, you really say, okay, as you get older, actually, you monitor your mistakes. You monitor you. You try to be better. You try to be a better person. You try to, you challenge yourself. You challenge yourself. It's too many people that's saying, I'm giving it my all. I'm doing the best that I'm doing.
Cap.
You're not giving it your all. You're not giving it your best. You know why? Because you're supposed to know at a certain age you got to wake up, you got to give God his praise. You will know that when you get a certain age that you got to get in that gym. You got to juice. You got to slow down on the smoking. You see, I'm on joints. I often always will roll up a blunt. Yeah, nigga, I'm smoking blunt. Nigga, I'm getting old. We going to the joints. You see, Rick Ross went to the joints. You're going to see Snoop Dogg go to the joints in a minute. He just a little late. But motherfuckers got to get to the joints when you get 40s and 50s. You can't keep rolling up motherfucking backwoods stouts, nigga, all day. You're going to die. Nigga drinking all day, man, having a fucking pint, and you got to have a pint, or you got to go and get you a fifth or a half a pint of Don Julio. When you 40, 45, every day you're going to die. Speaking of that, a lot of people died, our parents and families and them died at 50s and 55s because they didn't know that, nigga. You don't supposed to eat pork. Not every day, nigga. You don't supposed to eat pork every day. You don't supposed to actually, I'm going to be letting some shit go in this for OGs only, because this is all the shit that be on my mind. I'm giving y'all a real $1 million game. You do not supposed to use deodorant with aluminum in it. You do not supposed to use toothpaste every single day with aluminum in it. You know what I mean? You cannot, it's certain things that you've heard that you actually got to do. You feel what the fuck I'm saying? It's actually, you got to do some of these things. So again, it's hard being an OG because an OG comes with discipline. And as you get older, you want to be respected. You want to be loved. In order to be respected, in order to be loved, you got to look like it. You got to feel like it. You got to see it. They got to see it. Oh, I respect that. That's how I want to look when I get your age. Or that's how I want to be. You know what I mean? Nigga, you still sitting in the motherfucking car at 40 plus talking about some more niggas and they money and they success, how dare you, nigga? There's no fucking way possible that you are 40 plus years old going over another man's house to sit in his car to roll up some weed or go sit in his motherfucking living room and play the video game 3-4 times a week. Nigga, you done lost your motherfucking mind.
As the streets is filled with fake people, prophets, and pretend to be bosses, yet they are only.
This is why.
You know you done fucked up, right? No. You know you done fucked up, right?
For real. You done fucked up, nigga. Because here it is. You 40 years old, 45 years old, and you going over another nigga house to roll up a blunt and play the video game? No, nigga. You need to roll that blunt up at home. You need to get you a pen and a pad. Fuck a rap. You need to figure out or get you a calendar and figure out, what am I doing today in my calendar? What am I doing tomorrow in my other calendar? What am I doing in this calendar? What am I doing every day? You know what I mean? You must organize your life as an OG. And again, the people need to see it. No matter what you say,
Cap.
You could tell a nigga whatever you want, but it's
Cap.
because they looking at you. They can see it. Is you smelling like it? Is you looking like it? And that goes for women too. Baby girl, either you going to be auntie or you going to be OG or you going to be that bitch. Baby girl, you got to be an OG. If you auntie, you an auntie OG. These young hoes got to see you going hard.
Oh, hell no.
I'm talking about they got to say,
Oh, hell no.
every time they see you, they got to say,
Oh, hell no.
you feel me? You got to, baby girl, because at the end of the day, we want to respect what we see, what we feel, what we see. What's up? You know what I mean? I tell people a quick story, and I'm gonna be always giving out these real transparent nuggets because a lot of people don't know. But so last year I had a 2019 Cadillac Escalade. I only owed like a $2,000, $3,000 on the Cadillac. I paid it off or whatever, or I grinded it out. It's a 19. It was nice. It looked good. It was all black, tinted black. It was cool. I don't have no notes. Life is good. You know what I mean? I'm good. The problem is that I'm around all super mega rich niggas. Now, if I was in my hood still, and I was still had a bag here and there, and I'm dropping the bag off to my niggas, you know what I mean? I could still rock that. You know what I mean? That would have been good. You know what I mean? I couldn't. It was cool. You know what I mean? But being around all mega rich niggas with all new whips, whip strips, and mega chips, it didn't look right. Niggas got to looking at me like,
Cap.
Nuke, we know you know a lot of shit, but it could be.
Cap.
Nuke, we looking right at you, man. The Cadillac good, but.
Cap.
So even though I only owed it like $2,000-$3,000 on that bitch, and it was the Escalade stretch, all black, blew out, everything, tinted windows, it was a 19.
Cap.
I had to let it go. Why? It's because I'm around all super rich niggas, and then it ain't matching. These niggas got dropping new whips every single day. Whip strips and chips, all new whips, this, that, and the other. I had this caddy for two years now, 2.5 years. But before that, I had a Benz. I had a 550, and I had a Vet. But both of those cars, and I had both of these cars, that was a Benz and a Vet, right? And it was cool. Whip, strips, and chips. I had both at the same time. I realized I'm a fucking filmmaker / rapper too. Okay, I started in rap, but I'm making movies right now. I can't even put a damn camera in this car. I can't fit a camera in the Vet. The goddamn Benz is too pretty. So I got mad, jumped up, said one day and said, yo, I'm getting rid of both of these whips, and I'm gonna get me a truck and act my motherfucking age. Get this truck. But long story short, I had to get out of the truck and get a new truck. I had to go new. That new motherfucking caddy, you know what I mean? That long bitch. Not the small bitch. I had to go the long way. And more importantly, just being transparent, I didn't go in that bitch and say, hey man, yo, can you do this with a high car? No, I went in there like a grown man and damn near, I bit the bullet. I had pause. I had to fucking bite the bullet. So now I'm new caddy. Okay, cool. It's standard. But I mind you, everybody around me is Lambos. You know what I mean? Fucking, $200,000, $300,000 cars. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is your social status got to look a certain way for you to be an OG. You cannot be an OG, and if you ain't got the whip, strips, nor the chips, you are
Cap.
You might got a chain, but then every time we go somewhere, you ain't pulling out no money or you ain't got no cards on you. You ain't really got no money.
Cap.
You might feel you an OG because you got the clothes on, but then it's like, man, damn, you don't never want to pay no tickets. You don't want to pull out no motherfucking cards.
Cap.
You might got the clothes on, you might got a chain on, but we don't never see you with no weed, and you always waiting around to smoke another nigga weed.
Cap.
You see what I'm saying? This is why some of you niggas is in an older space and you feel like I don't be respected as an OG, is because you're not doing the things to be respected like an OG. Stand up, nigga. Have your shoulders up, nigga. Be a man, nigga. And if you ain't got the whip, strips, or chips, go hide. Come back out, figure this shit out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with disappearing for a minute. You know what I mean? Coming back, bouncing back. But don't stand in the nigga face, man, talking, spitting and shit, drunk, talking, yeah, nigga, I'm an OG, nigga, because I addicted this.
Cap. Cap.
That's why a nigga looking at you like,
Cap. Cap.
So, again, social status is important in being an OG, and then also taking care of your family. Now, without further ado, also with the podcast for OGs only, we got certain segments. This segment right here is I'm going to figure out what is in the news for the week in the streets, as you should say. All right, so first in the streets, I got, because these is all my takes on what's going on. And I would love for y'all to comment, share, like, because I got real ideas. I got real situations. I'm like Trump, you know what I mean? I'm coming in this bitch like Trump, you know what I mean? So, damn, the story of the week is Big Meech is home. And new story is fucking 50. 50, man. Meech took the picture with Rick Ross. Damn. Now, just to give y'all a quick situation, I've been around 50 a couple times. I know how 50 is. I cut into 50. You know what I mean? 50 had the liquor out. 50 had a motherfucking one of them was cucumber liquor. You can go pull it up anywhere on YouTube. I asked 50, I was like, yo, one of these liquors is cool, this shit. But I'm like, the cucumber, bro, like, this shit is, we niggas fifth. What the fuck is the cucumbers? And he like, you never know what white people do on the Malibu, such and such. You know, he said some 50 shit. So I was like, all right, cool. But I cut into him like a regular nigga, because I feel like niggas don't have real conversations around celebrities. All they sit and do is jack them off, pause. You know what I mean? So I like to have real conversations. I cut right into niggas. Crazy. They be like, yo, what? And I've made friends like that, and I've also made niggas that look at me like, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I've been around Fifth. I know how he is a little bit. I've been around Ross more times. Me and Ross, when I used to do Nuke at Night and Ross first came out, I thought Ross was, I thought he was working with the police. I'm just going to be honest. I thought Rick Ross, I'm like, bro, you with the police. You was a police confidential, you was a, what's the name? You was a CI. I mean, not CI, but you worked at the fucking thing, so you was a police, right? But then being around Ross, hanging out with Ross a few times, being in the studio, being in his crib, talking to him, having conversations. Ross is a street nigga. Ross is a street nigga, bro. Ross is a street nigga. He think and he move like a street nigga. If Ross is not a street nigga that come from the streets, and what I mean from by the streets is I'm saying having bags, serving bags, moving bags, certain situations. Even if he wasn't doing that, he had a brother or he had somebody that was right there, or he just was listening well to the bosses give him game. Because his thoughts, he's moved, how he conduct himself, he been there, he's seen that. You know what I mean? It's some Murta shit. So it's real weird to see how this shit play out. Now, Big Meech, I ain't gonna lie. Meech, a lot of respect, man. From Detroit, you know what I mean? Southwest, watch BMI show. I've never met the man per se, but I see he fuck with all of the artists in the city. You know what I mean? So it's nothing but respect. I salute. Everything they talking about him, paperwork, this, that, and the other, I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know, and I really don't care. That's something that I want to address in for OGs only. You know, an old woman told me at 100 years old, I asked her what was the key to life and how did you make it 100 years old? And she smiled at me, no cap, and she looked at me and she said, "'Cause I mind my business." She smiled. It was amazing after the smile. I never forget it. It was like a fucking picture. And I said, damn, lady, you know, if I adapted that, my shit would be straight. If I minded just my business, stayed tunnel vision with my fucking business, I don't care about when somebody call me. Yo, I this and that. I caught a flat tire. Oh, okay, yeah. Did you call Allstate? You call your insurance? Or motherfucker over here, yo, did you know this motherfucker had said this and that? Oh, for real? How's the sun? Man, it's raining outside. You know, just like let everybody's shit bounce off of you or off of me. Man, life would be great. So I'm saying that to say, I'm not the whole Meech and paperwork and all. Hey, man, that shit is past my pay grade. You see what I'm saying? That's what OG is being about. I got respect. So for me to feel like I can jump in that conversation about what he did and what he didn't do, man, that nigga had 1,000 bricks, man, 20 years ago. That, man, hey, man, omerta. Until otherwise, I ain't, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? You look good. You got your teeth done. You about to have a big-ass concert. You got 100 Detroit motherfuckers on there. Hey, I love it, Meech. I salute Al Nuke, East Side, Detroit. Anybody that's around you, they'll tell you, you know what I mean? They'll tell you about who I am. And that's just from a humble perspective, being a real nigga to real nigga. But again, 50, that's an ugly situation because 50 feel like, what's that saying? Whoever, a friend of my enemy is my enemy too, or however that go. You know what I mean? It's like, nigga, I put you on. I gave you bread. I got you a show. You don't supposed to be taking pictures with this nigga with my main ops. That's something that we can't really involve ourselves in because both of them men have different opinions about the situation. See, one thing I'm going to always give y'all is a real nigga perspective. I'm not going to give you clickbaits and clickbites and things for you to, oh, yeah. No, I'm going to give you a real nigga's perspective, right? A real nigga. You see how I'm looking at you? A real nigga perspective to that. It's past your pay grade. It's past my pay grade. Both of them men got certain ways that how they feel, and that's just something of how they feel is going to how they feel. You know what I mean? 50 feel like, hey, man, I gave you a show. I put a fucking nigga $1 million spotlight back again on BMF and made it a cultural, iconic name and brand throughout society, not just the streets, but throughout society. Meech is saying, hey, man, I'm a street nigga, and the nigga that you put the spotlight on is about me. So I don't construe or move, know how no nigga feel like I'm supposed to move. And that's just that. I got love for you, and I got love for that nigga, and I got love for that nigga and that nigga. I ain't told that nigga where you at and what you doing and our deals and this, that, and the other. So why is you mad? I'm a boss. That's how I move. I don't even understand. I'm not even going to feed off into that. If you got an issue, call me Fifth. I'm sure that's how Meech is thinking that shit. And Fifth is being Fifth. Yo, nigga, I'm about to unplug shit. Fifth used to niggas call and help. Yo, Fifth, what's wrong? This and that. Meech not about to do that, Fifth. However you done snatch covers off multiple niggas before and this, that, and the other, hey, man, you ain't about that to get the submission call from Meech. What you're going to get from Meech is, I see you when I see you, my baby, and it's still all love. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, for real. And I'm sure he's going to break it down to you the same way I did, calm and probably no emotions to that shit. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how niggas really supposed to move. That's OG shit. That's OG shit. You know what I mean? It's a way that you got to do shit. So that's that situation. Let me go to something else. Super Bowl next Sunday. I don't know who y'all gonna pick. Who is the niggas that beat the niggas? Bills beat us, didn't they? Fuck them. If they beat Detroit, I don't want them to win. Chiefs. No, Bills ain't in it, no. I'm sorry. Philly. I'm going with Philly. I fuck with Philly. Shout out with Philly. I got people in Philly. I fuck with y'all. Philly is winning this. Also, I want to know sports bets and sport picks. If you got picks, leave the shit in the comments. Make it like let's eat. Share the information. For OGs only is about sharing the information, my niggas. Share the information, okay? Please, leave in the comments. What's the picks? What's the picks of this week? Let it, even on other sports. Always leave comments and picks. And what's, you know what I mean? What's what? Damn, man. What's the other one? It's gonna leave. Don't go. 10K. Oh, shout out YFE and Lucci. Shout out YFE and Lucci. That's new news. Fam just got out. That's another brother I had a pleasure to be around, fuck around, real stand-up dude. And that's another thing with him and the whole thug situation. Past my fucking pay grade. I don't know. All I can do is say, hey, fuck with Thug, fuck with Luch. You know what I mean? Real bosses, if you a real boss, don't side with niggas. Even if you and niggas in your motherfucking hood. If it's a nigga in your hood that got beef with another nigga in your hood, bro, don't step back like you just gonna let them kill each other. But don't take a side. You always push for, man, y'all niggas gotta talk, bro. Y'all niggas gotta chop it up, bro. Y'all niggas gotta chop it up. Don't you go to pillow talking with your bitch with the other nigga, talking about the other nigga getting into, no. True bosses don't pick sides, homeboy. Bosses is a motherfucking boss. Nigga ain't picking no motherfucking sides, man. Especially when it comes to my niggas, man. You know what I mean? So, and it ain't even got to be my niggas. It go back to that old lady. Mind your business. It's too many podcasts nowadays. Is it everybody motherfucking business? No. And you know what's fucked up, though? I also want to say this. You look at all of the other ethnic group podcasts, none of them is going off on their race or their people or their culture. None of them. None of them. We are the only ones that creating podcasts to expose other people. And not even podcasts, just people. These people. I got a whole episode about it. These fucking people. I'm going to let it go one day. But these fucking people is bigger, is much bigger than anything that we were thinking about before. Why you think I've been quiet? I've done my research. These big old podcasts is like from a fucking tree built by the government as well that's funding a lot of these people that we're going to talk about on a podcast, and you will hear me talk about it and break it down. But that's another podcast. I want to discuss another topic, okay? The fake it till you make it term in 2025 is a real topic right now for OGs because we stuck in the middle. We come from, there's no cheat codes. We got to grind. We got to work. We gonna motherfuckers stay 100, stay to the end. But the whole world is majority of cheat codes. It's fucking TikTok. It's TikTok. It's fucking YouTube. It's fucking something that's gonna make you find some shit to literally, you know what I mean, to cheat. Everybody now, let me give you the cheat code. All these niggas that's selling pamphlets, selling books, selling. You got to have a product. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm dipping into this shit a little bit, but not from a fake perspective, because let me tell you what the fake ones do. I'm gonna still try to do it from a real perspective. The fake people, right? I'm putting it in a nutshell for you. And you can do this the same way. Kids is listening, and even adults, right? If you got a 680, 700 credit score, get your credit score up, right? Create you a fucking LLC. Go get you an LLC and then create you a business. And out of that business, go and get you a business loan. Actually create a couple multiple LLCs. But get you some motherfucking business loan money, like Trump now, and go shop until you fucking drop. But go find the fake vendors, get all of the best fake Motionites, get the best fake motherfucking Gucci, right? Louis, Fendi, buy a bunch of that shit. Get you a camera motherfucker, and then go get you a motherfucker the nigga that take the camera pictures, and then make sure that you go and buy you some followers and buy you some motherfucking comments. And then have a product to sell. And you have to keep that look and that lifestyle going for about 3 to 4 months, or months in, months out, until you get enough people that believe in your dream, right? Till they believe in your dream, and then you got residual income coming in, passive income. You know what I mean? Because everybody think you rich are fucking ready. That is the simple key to fake it till you make it. Y'all leave a comment and let me know, is that the fucking move now? Like, that is a real move. Again, 700 credit score. Create a business LLC. Go get you some business funding. Nigga, when you get that money, go shopping, nigga, and invest in a cameraman, some fake Motionites, and the best fucking Albuquerque or wherever the fake shit come from. And get you some marketing Instagram money. And then you become a entrepreneur. Make sure you go on trips. Make sure you're looking like it every time. Make sure you go rent the cars or lease a couple cars. And then if all else, go belly up.
Cap.
All you do is file bankruptcy on the business.
As the streets is filled with fake people, prophets, and pretend to be bosses, yet they are only pocket watching. God be a less the real. For OG.
You see how much game you done got out of this one show? I hope that you share this, like this, comment with this. Help me on this show. This show is from the heart. It is not for the weak. It is not for the people that necessarily want to laugh and fucking goofy goo-goo. It's the people that want to learn and be real with themselves. I'm not here to bash you. I'm not here to, tell you all of these false things and create false prophets. I'm here to give you the game for OGs only. Last but not least, I want to end it off the show because I always said I was always going to make this show an hour, right? Because I got shit to do as well. Last but not least, I want to say that black people got trauma, y'all. We have real trauma in our life, right? And it's very important that each and every black person at some point go and get help. It's got to be through God, right? But then it also can be through a therapist. I really believe that if I was the president and I gave niggas reparations, part of getting your reparation money is you can't spend it on fucking, you cannot spend the money on bullshit, but more importantly, to even get the money, you have to go through therapy. Because we got, as black people, we all got a lot of pain. That's why a lot of black people are so angry right now. That's going to be one of my shows. But not only is it going to be one of my shows where I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to try to always end the show with something of thought, mere thought. And the thought of the week is going to always be natural. And I just thought about this because I'm a great fucking showmaker, man. I fucking do this shit. You are a bum. If you're a podcaster and you're watching me and you're wondering what I'm going to do, get fucking ready. Because this ain't shit. Imagine where I'm ready to go. See? That was trauma. See what I'm saying? But that was real. That was genuine. That was trauma. So I got to end the show, guys, with we are fucked up in the head. We got to find God. We got to get help. I suggest BetterHelp.com. They ain't gave me no money. I'm not.
Yeah.
They ain't gave me a slug. All I can tell you is I went to BetterHelp.com last year, and I had first time having therapy. And with the reason I'm saying I'm going a little over. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm going over. Let's chill out. What intrigued me about therapy was the first time I was talking to this man within the first 10 minutes, right? I'm telling this man my life story, right? And I'm telling him about the shootouts, the scandals, to this, to that, to this, to that, to this, to that. You know what I mean? I'm telling him the darkest shit. And he's like, wow, wait a minute, you survived that? Oh, my God. He's black, too. Wait. And I'm like, yeah, and then I, started rapping. And boom. And he's like, wow, you did that. This is a story like, wow. And I'm telling this dude all of this stuff, right? And it wasn't until I went back after all of that shit and I started rambling about I never been loved. You know what I mean? Like I've never, like growing up as a kid, I never, threw the football with my father or a man for that matter. I didn't nobody grow me up saying, I love you. I love you. Don't do that. I love you. Come here. Like, that's why I kiss my kids 1,000,000 times, like a day. Nobody never gave me that love. I never got love, you know what I mean, growing up. So I'm telling the therapist that, right? Like, and then I got to telling him about Joanne, which was a godmother of mine. Joanne Cummings, baby girl, I love you, and you know I love you. God rest your soul. I know you watch over me a lot, mama. She was my, I believe, second foster parent. She took me in when I was a foster child, and I only stole something. Maybe I haven't stole literally, like I'm talking about from people. Like I might steal some candy out the store or something when I'm walking away or some shit like that. I still probably do that here and there. But I'm talking about from people. I haven't stole 5 times. But she was one of the people that I stole from early on, moving in her house. I stole a piece of jewelry. And walking out of the house, I dropped the jewelry. And she seen it. She's like, wait a minute, that's my jewelry. And I'm just getting ready to leave. And she was like, wow, you stealing from me? And this is after she bought me some shit. And like, I didn't give a fuck. I was young. But she looked at me and she said, I will buy you this if you need this. If this is what you want, I will buy you this. I want to buy you this. I love you. I said, what the fuck? Lady, I just stole from you. And you talking about you love me? What the fuck? So I told the therapist that story. And while I was telling the therapist that particular story, I started crying. I didn't know what the fuck I was crying about. I'm crying boo-hooing telling this nigga this story. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck is wrong? Why am I crying, bro? This, that, and he's like, no, you see what the problem is that you've been so immune to the things that messed your head up, you got immune to that. To whereas in love, that traumatized you, in a sense. It's like, damn, fuck my head up. That's when I realized therapy, okay, this could work. But with therapy, he also, I only went a month, once a week for a month. Yeah, I was like, fuck this shit. But I'm going to go back eventually. They make you fess up. At least you need somebody to talk to. And I'm saying that to say black people get therapy. Like get man, woman, young, old. We need therapy. It's not
Cap.
it's not that. It's a real thing, man. We need somebody to talk to. We need somebody to fuck Instagram, fuck going to Instagram about your stories, about your problems. You're crying, you're looking for this and you're looking for that on, putting your pain on Instagram. And I've been guilty of that too. I put a lot of my pain on Facebook. And I gotta stop doing that. Therapy and being confident within yourself and knowing God is gonna work it out is the most valuable thing that you can do, because you can't have faith and still worry or still have those issues. You can't do both. You got to figure it out. All right? So with that being said, I really love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks everybody that I'm looking at the views. We're going to build this podcast. It's come from a sense of it's going to come from a sense of a heart, transparent place. And it's for OGs only, man. It's for the mature people that's trying to grow, that's trying to learn, that's trying to, that's just really trying to become a better person. I'm gonna have the OGs on here. I'm gonna have the OGs on here, and they're gonna talk about their stories, and they're gonna talk about what it is to be an OG and what they see and what they learn. But they're not here to glorify what they've done. They're not here to incriminate themselves. They won't be here to promote violence and fucked up things. No, they're talking about, okay, this is my past. This is what I've learned. This is what I'm willing to teach you, young nigga, or a fellow OG. And we're gonna circulate the information. You know what I mean? So thanks again, y'all. This is your man Al Nuke. First episode, historical, very historical, very, very historical, because it's gonna blow the freak up. It's gonna blow the fuck up. I am the Black Howard Stern. I've started this shit years ago. I can go either way. 3-point, dunk, pass, defense, half-court shot, mid-range. Either way. I love you. See you next week, 3 p.m. Leave a comment, share, like, do whatever you're going to do. But more importantly, love God, love your family, love yourself.